This video covers the point of sale training for the store. The goal is to give you an overview so you can confidently set up and run the register in the store. We're going to go over these 5 steps. We're going to go over getting started, transaction processes, tenders, returns, refunds, exchanges, and closing the drawer for the store register. Now, the Square for Retail is what we use in the store on the Square register. It is an app. So we get automatic updates much like you would on your phone. But being an app, it also means sometimes things glitch and you need to restart your system, much like you would on your phone. But overall, it is a simple system that is very intuitive and user-friendly. So let's dive in. Give me a second here as I switch over to Square for Retail. All right, the first thing that you're going to come to is the passcode screen. Each of you will have a passcode. Each user gets their own passcode assigned to them based on their title, whether you're a retail manager, a specialist, or intern, and cashiers like summer staff or a weekend user in the school season. So I'm going to enter in my passcode, and it's going to bring me up to the checkout screen. Now, just as an overview, the bottom navigation tools, I'm on an iPad, so yours may be on the left-hand side. Mine are along the bottom, but everything else is the same. At the bottom, you'll have your reports, inventory, transactions, checkout. Checkout is this screen that we're on currently. And then if you hit the 3 lines to the left, you'll bring up some more options. On the top left are what we call quick keys. There's items, customers, which we don't really use in the store. That's something we utilize in the snack bar and concessions areas. Discounts and saved carts. Below that are what we call favorites. And this is our cheat sheet or frequently used items that are too small to put a label on. Here I have tattoos, unknown items, etc. And you can add a favorite if there's something that's being utilized a lot. You can hit edit favorites, go to add favorites, and then select that item and hit save. And now it'll be added to the favorites list. The first thing you need to do when you come into the Square for Retail is to open your drawer. You will notice the warning at the bottom says cash drawer has not been started. It won't even allow you to run a transaction until it's been done. So you can select start drawer from there, or you can go to reports and start drawer here. It should tell you what your starting cash should be, which mine says $300. So I want to verify the amount of cash that I have in the drawer is correct. So I utilize something called the cash calculator app. And here you enter in all your numbers of your bill increments and coin increments, and it'll give you a total. Say I have $300. So I'm going to go back to my Square for Retail and verify that. I'll hit start drawer, confirm start drawer, and now I'm ready to start the day. So I'm going to select checkout at the bottom right and bring me back to my cash register screen. Now you can start scanning items or search for an item. So once you scan an item off the tag, it'll show up here to the right. If you need to search for an item, you can select search and type in something you know about that. Say it just says WILE logo, and it'll bring up all the items that you have in your database that have WILE logo on it. And then you can select the item from there. All right. You can also search if you know like the category it's in, these little pill boxes here at the bottom. I can look for the category, like I'm looking for a Bible. I'm looking for that Journey Bible, and I can add that to my cart. So here now I have 2 items. Say I was buying multiples of the Journey Bible. I can select the Journey Bible, and in the top right are plus and minuses. And then you can also select the number and enter in a quantity as well. And then hit save changes, and now you have that adjusted on your screen. If an item comes through that is not in your system for some reason, we can use an unknown item. Unknown item is something that we should use rarely, and we should always have it corrected. So you can use unknown item, type in the amount that it is, and hit add to cart. And then we want to grab a receipt or a sticky note and then write down the description of what that unknown item was and put that in our register so that we can communicate to the specialist or intern or retail manager to let them know that this item was unknown and I didn't find it in the system. And that way they can correct it. They can add that item into the system, and then they can, return this unknown item and purchase the correct item. And that will just help keep our inventory accurate. So again, this should be used rarely, but when it is used, it should always be corrected. All right, we can also apply a discount. We have a few discounts we offer. One is the Young Life staff discount, and that is for Young Life staff. They receive 20% off. We also have a Young Life volunteer discount that is 20% off one item, and that's done in the summertime. And then we have the interdepartment camp purchase, and that's something like guest services coming in to purchase something for ministry use, and they receive the item at cost, so they get 50% off. To apply, if we wanted to apply on one item itself, we'll take the Young Life logo tee and you swipe slightly to the left and it'll say apply discount. And we're going to apply Young Life staff discount and then hit done. And now you'll see that that $9.99 is now $7.99 with that discount. If you, similarly, you can also swipe to the left and put it back to the original price if that was the incorrect one to do. If you want to apply the discount to all the items, you can go to the green box over here under discounts and hit Young Life staff discount, and it'll apply it to all the items listed here. Sometimes when you have a really long list of items, it's easier to do it this way. There are some items that do not receive a discount. Those items would be those that are less than $1, items that are on sale, sundry items, which are like Walmart items that are not fully marked up, or consignment or guest musician items. None of those receive a discount. So if this unknown item was a Walmart item, say it was sunscreen, then we want to remove the discount from it. So you simply turn on, turn off, and now you'll see that that discount now reduced down to $3.20. All right, if you want to adjust the price, you can do that. Let's say this $9.99 logo tee was marked down to $7.99 really, and so the price is incorrect. Scroll down to the bottom and hit adjust price to $7.99 and then done. And save changes, and now you'll see that that price has been changed. You can also delete an item simply by swiping to the left and selecting delete. And now let's say you're ready to tender out. This blue box down here, it says charge $11.18. That's their total. You select charge, and then you have all of your options. They can, with a credit card or a gift card or a P card. A P card is a Young Life issued credit card. It says Young Life on it, but works just as a credit card, and they could insert those into the reader themselves. We do not give cash back on debit cards. That is something we do not do. So if they ask, that's sorry. And P cards is something, accepting P cards is something new in the last year. So that might come as a surprise to them. We can also accept cash. Obviously, it gives you your exact amount, gives you the next increment, and then it gives you some frequently used increments as well. And then if they, like, let's just say they paid with a $50 bill, you could go to custom and type in 50 here and then tender it out from this screen. They also have check as an option. Yes, we still accept checks. They can make it out to Young Life's and then whatever your camp name. And card on file is something we use in the snack bar. That's not something you'll use in the store. Other payment types is something we'll talk about here in a little bit called internal transfer. And we utilize other payment types for that. And then if you need to, for some reason, if a gift card or a credit card isn't, working on the reader, you can manually enter those numbers here under gift card and manual credit card entry. And then in the top right, there's something called split amount. So if they need to split it in 2 equal payments, you know, between cash and credit card, you can do that, whatever it is. Let's X out of that. You have to tender.here charge. We'll say this was all in cash. And then it'll ask you, would they like a receipt? So just as a note, we require receipts to make a return when someone uses a cash, when they pay for cash, they need a receipt to make a return. If they pay for credit card, we can utilize the credit card to find their transaction, but otherwise they need a receipt. So this is something new. We want to encourage you guys to make sure that the people that are paying with cash, you say, hey, just you probably want to take that receipt because you might need it just in case you want to return something. Now, if you ring up someone and they realize that they don't have their wallet, you have your items all set up and I forgot my wallet. You can hit save cart and, you know, hey, what's your name? I'll just save these here for you. You can go run back and grab it, get their name and hit save, put their stuff in a bag with their name on it. And then when they come back, you can select save carts, this top left orange button, and then find their cart. And now you can hit open cart and now you're ready to tender them out. So we'll just do this. And if they don't return, that's something you can talk to your retail manager about. If they don't return, you know, say by the end of the week, then you're going to want to put those items back on the floor and you can clear these saved carts. At the top right are actions, these 3 dots. You select that. And this is where we will sell or check gift cards. And I'm just showing you that where that's located now. There is another gift card training video for how to process all of that. And that's something that you'll watch after this. So I'm not going to go into detail on that. But just so you know, store gift cards are only redeemable and refunded through the store. The snack bar, coffee shop, crafts, they have a different gift card and that they can use at any of those locations. But store is only sold in the store and only redeemable in the store. All right, also on actions is where you can do a no sale. Sometimes people will come in and need cash for vending. You can go to the actions and hit no sale and it'll pop open your drawer and you can give them change. Also on here, there's something called add custom amount, and that is not something we ever want to use. We have an option to use unknown item when we don't know what the item is and we can enter in the price. And that allows us to track inventory where the add custom amount does not. So we want to avoid using that. All right, to return an item, again, in order to return an item, they must have either a receipt they paid with cash or the credit card that they purchased the item with. So this is a fairly new process for us and customers. So we want to, you know, make sure that you guys are trained on that, as well as we should have signage by the register that says, you know, must have receipt for return. But it's something that you'll have to be teaching the customers as you go. So for a receipt, at the bottom of the receipt is a barcode and you'll scan that. And then it'll bring up the transaction that they had. And from here, it'll bring up the screen on the right where you can select return or exchange. And we're going to say there's items or there's amount. And the amount would be a dollar amount. So like, let's say you overcharged something, like it running up as $10, it should have been $9. You could just type in $1 to refund them. Under items, you can select the item because we want to put this item back in inventory, and you're going to select next. It'll say, you know, tattoos -$5. You're going to refund, and it always says refund to however they paid. So if they originally paid cash, they'll get cash back. If they paid credit card, it'll go back to their credit card. And then down at the bottom are the reasons for refund. So we're just going to say return goods and hit refund, and it's complete and done. Now, if it's a credit card, they're simply going to enter their card into the reader and it will pull up their transactions that they've made on that card. And you can select the transaction that has the item that you want to return. And then do the same thing, return all the items, hit next, refund, and return goods, refund. And you're done. If they don't have their card with them, you can also search by customers. It automatically saves their name when they make a purchase with a credit card. So you can find their activity and transaction and then select the return or exchange. Always easier if they've used their credit card than with cash. If they're exchanging an item, they want to return something and then buy something else, you can do that. You know, we're going to go find that item. I need to run a transaction real quick. So let's do this. All right, so now I want to return this tattoo. I'm gonna hit return or exchange. My tattoo I'm returning, and I wanted to get the other kind. So at this screen, I can now select the item that I wanted to get. So let's say they really wanted to get the glitter one, and I can add that to cart. And here it shows it's an even exchange. If I also wanted to buy, you know, this Patriotic YL, now it says at the top are my purchases, the Patriotic YL, the glitter tattoo, my tax, and then what I returned. And so now my remaining balance is charge $10.99. Select charge and done. All right. And now when you go to transactions, you'll notice that these with the yellow arrows going to the left, those indicate that a return has been completed. All right, we're gonna go back to checkout. Internal transfers. Internal transfers are a transaction made by a staff person that wants to charge their area for the items they're purchasing for ministry purpose. And they can either use a P card, that Young Life credit card, or they can bill their area, and we can do it either way. So you're just going to ring up the item as normal, and Young Life staff are the ones that would be using internal transfers, so they get their staff discount. So we're going to go to discounts and hit Young Life staff discount. Young Life is also tax exempt, so we're going to remove tax, and to do that, you just again swipe to the left and hit remove. And so now you see we have a tattoo with a discount and the tax is off, and their total is $4. So you can ask them if they'd like to pay with their P card. Again, this is a new process for us, so they may not realize that they could even use that. Again, having signage near that says P cards are accepted would be great, but they would just run that credit card as normal. They insert it into the reader and follow those prompts there. If they don't have their P card with them, we can bill their area. And we're going to do that. We're going to hit charge, and then we're going to select other payment types. And other payment types, we're going to enter in IT, which stands for internal transfer, and say, what's your area number? And then we're going to type in their area number, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. We want it to always say IT and the area number. This helps us as we do a report at the end of the day. We can filter down to IT and run that report for the bookkeeper for our closing duties. All right, now, and then hit record payment, and that's done. All right, offline mode. Our Square for Retail is an app, like I said earlier, and so that requires internet connection. Sometimes internet connection may go out. So each camp is set up to automatically go into what we call an offline mode if the internet connection fails. And this allows the ability to run transactions and accept swiped card payments. In offline mode, Young Life is responsible for any expired or declined or disputed payments. So because of this, a set transaction limit is suggested, like $100 or something. So that's something you want to ask your retail manager if there is a limit when you're in the offline mode. Once the internet connection is restored, offline payments will process automatically. And when offline mode is enabled, you'll see a red banner in the app indicating that the app has automatically entered offline mode. And during this time, you cannot cancel or refund any pending payments. If the internet connection is not restored within 72 hours, these credit card payments will expire and not be processed. So it's super important to communicate to your retail manager if you've entered in offline mode, and that way they can work hard to get internet connection restored as quickly as possible. All right, at the end of your day, we're going to be closing the register, and we're going to do this at the end of each day, both in summertime and in school season. To maintain fiscal accountability, we always have 2 people present when they're counting money. And to do this on the register, you simply go to reports and end drawer. And here it says what is expected in your drawer. It's expecting for you to count $316.49. And now you're going to count the actual amount. So you're going to go back to your cash calculator app and enter in what you have at your register. Then you're going to enter in that amount. And I'm going to say that my total was actually $320. And then enter description. This is what week you're in the summer or what the group name is that is there. So let's like summertime would be question 1, week 2, day 3. Or if it's in the school season, you may have a group. We'll just say it. The students. And then it'll show you. So your expected in drawer was $316.49. Your actual in drawer was $320. And then it says your difference was $3.51. If you have this big difference, you guys can recount to verify that you counted correctly. And if it is, then you just go ahead and in drawer and confirm in drawer. And now your drawer has ended. It will automatically print what they call a drawer report. And on that, it will show your over under. That is something that we want to put with the cash in a deposit bag. And then we want to write up a deposit slip. And then you're going to put all of that in the bag and in the safe. And at this point, you'll go back to your checkout screen. And in the bottom left, it says log out BN. BN is my name. So it'll say whatever your initials are, log out. And that'll take you back to the passcode screen for the next register. And then whatever your process is to get the deposits to the retail manager so that they can finish the rest of the reports to submit those to be taken to the bank. And that's it for Square for Retail.